Hello, grade 7 students. Today, I will be discussing rational numbers. So, for our learning target, I can define, arrange on a number line, and give examples of rational numbers. So, what do we mean by rational number? So, rational number is a number of the form a over b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. So why is the denominator should not be equal to 0? Because a number divided by 0, the answer is undefined. So therefore, here in rational numbers, we cannot have a denominator as 0. So integers, fractions, and decimals like terminating and repeating decimals are all rational numbers. So let's have an example of rational numbers, and the non-rational numbers, or what we call the irrational numbers. So rational numbers are like 3/5. Okay, so we have here your A as 3 and B as 5. So 3/5 is a fraction, so therefore 3/5 belongs to the set of rational numbers. Next, we can also have 0.46. 0.46 is a terminating decimal. Next, -7 is a negative integer. Next, 2.15 bar. It represents the decimal or repeating numbers. And lastly, square root of 4 can also be considered as a rational numbers because square root of 4 is equal to positive or -2. So we can also consider that one as rational numbers because we can also write that one in fractional form. And lastly, 0, we can also 0 also belongs to the set of rational numbers because we can also write 0 in fraction, like 0 over 5, 0 over 7. The answer is 0. Next, any number that you can think that we cannot write in a form of a over b, or simply all numbers that cannot be written in fractional form, are what we called irrational numbers. So example is square root of 2. If you're going to use your calculator, the answer for the square root of 2 is a non-terminating decimal, and therefore we cannot write that one into fractional form. So this kind of numbers is considered as irrational numbers. What else? Like for example, 0.7249 and so on. This kind of decimal cannot also be written in fractional form. And lastly, pi, because pi is also a non-terminating decimal and non-repeating decimal. So therefore, if again you cannot write your answer in fractional form, therefore that number is considered an irrational numbers. Okay? Next, so after we identify numbers as rational, we can now put this one on a number line. So again, when we have a number line, this is a set of numbers consisting of 0. And on the right side of 0, we have all the positive integers or all the positive numbers. And on the left of 0 will all be the negative numbers or negative integers. So how can we plot irrational numbers on a number line? So let's have some example. So let us plot 3/4 on a number line. So the first thing that you should know is where 3/4 lies on a number line, or 3/4 is between what two integers. Okay, and we all know that 3/4 is between 0 and 1. So therefore, here we have 0 and 1. 3/4 is in this area. So what are we going to do is to divide this set into 4, because we're going to get the 3/4 parts of a whole. So we're going to divide this part into 4. Yeah, so this will be the first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. So it's like dividing a whole into 4. So where is 3/4? So the first part is, of course, that is 1/4. The second one is 2/4, or in lowest term, that is 1/2. And then the third one will be the 3/4. And of course, the last one will be the whole part, which is 1. So after we divide this one by 4, and after locating 3/4, the next one is to put a small dot here. So that will be the representation of 3/4 on a number line. So this is how we will plot 3/4 on a number line. Another example, how about if we have -2 and 1/2 on a number line? So again, you have to think on where -2 and 1/2 lies, on what two integers is -2 and 1/2 between. Okay, so 0, -1, -2, -3. So again, 0. And on the left are all the negative integers or negative numbers. So again, -2 and 1/2 lies between the integer -2 and -3. And when we say 1/2, that is just half of a whole. So we'll just divide this part into 2, and then the middle part will be the -2 and 1/2. So divide it by 2, and then this part will be the -2 and 1/2. So that's it. That is how we're going to plot -2 and 1/2 on a number line. Another example, what if we have 3 and 2/5 on a number line? So how are we going to plot 3 and 2/5 on a number line? So we have here a number line, and as you can see, 3 and 2/5 is between the integers 3 and 4. So you should have 3 and 4 on your number line. And then after that, for 3 and 4, you have to divide this part into 5 parts, because we're going to get the 2/5 part of this whole part. So dividing it into 5, so we have here the first part, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Okay, so the first one is 3 and 1/5. The next one is 3 and 2/5. Next, 3 and 3/5. Next, 3 and 4/5. And of course, the last one will be 5/5, which is also equal to 4. And then locate now 3 and 2/5. So that is how we plot 3 and 2/5 on a number line. Next, what if we need to plot a decimal number on a number line like 4.7? So 4.7 is between what two integer? So that is between 4 and 5. So what are we going to do is to divide this part into 10 parts. Okay, it is easier for us to plot a fraction on a number line. So if you want to change for over 4.7 into fraction and then put it on a number line, it's okay. Okay, so here we already divide into 10. So the first part is 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and so on up to 4.9. Of course, the last one will be 5. And then just simply locate 4.7, and that's it. That will be the plot of 4.7 on a number line. Next. Okay, so here we have -1.25. So it's hard to divide the one part into 25. So what are we going to do is to simply change -1.25 into fraction, which is our topic for our next synchronous class. But I know that you know how to change this decimal number into fraction. So that fractional form of -1.25 is -1 and 1/4. Okay, so again, -1 and 1/4 is between the integer -1 and -2. So again, this one is in 4 parts. So we're going to divide this whole into 4. That's it. So the first one, again here, starting from negative, you always start left to right to left. Okay, so that will be negative 1 and 1/4, negative 1 and 1/2, and negative 1 and 3/4. And after that, locate now negative 1 and 1/4, and that's it. That is the way we plot negative 1.25 on a number line. Okay, and for the last example, let's see. Okay, we're going to plot these three numbers on one number line. So we're going to plot negative 1.5, 2, and 1/3 on a number line. Okay, so you have here a number line consisting of negative 2 up to positive 2 integers. And we're going to divide this one by each of the part by 3 because of here 1/3. Okay, so the first one to plot is of course the easiest one, which is 2. So we all know that 2 is here, so we just need to put a dot to represent its graph. Okay, and then next we have here, okay, so 1/3 because it is between 0 and 1. So it's 1/3, 2/3, and of course 3/3, which is 1. So therefore 1/3 is here. And lastly, negative 1.5. We all know that negative 1.5 is halfway of negative 1 and negative 2. So we just locate it here in the halfway of the two integers. So that is how we plot negative 1.5 on a number line. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, don't hesitate to message me, Miss Ria, and Miss Pam. Good day. Thank you, grade 7.